Hello. I think everyone's been one way or another in the media field has heard accusations of being not true or not authentic enough. Tupac accused the Notorious Big in being not true during the famous East and West Coast rivalry in 90s. Martin Scorsese dismisses the Marvel movies, calling them a theme park rather than a cinematography. And there are a lot of examples of creators and media personalities calling others not true. And actually, fans are keeping quite well with the creators and constantly calling their idols not true, not authentic enough. And considering the fact that we live in the world of fast food, which also involves fast food art, these statements actually seem to have quite a reasonable grounding. However, there are also cases when this only seems like a grumbling of old snobs. Let's discuss what does it actually mean to be true and authentic, and why some creators look down on the representatives of their field this way. And actually, I would point out that this does not necessarily relate to the creative and the artistic field and goes beyond them. First, let's discuss what it really means to be true and authentic. When people discuss authenticity, they use different words and different forms to explain themselves. And it really makes sense, because when one metal band calls another one not true, it barely relates to cinematography and, for example, to Marvel movies that I mentioned before. However, if you think about it, actually they speak about one thing only. And if you break down this idea to the pieces, you will find out that the thing that they're speaking about is as following. This guy or these folks do things the wrong way. Of course, nobody formulates it this way, however, what really stands behind these words is an idea, something that defines an activity. However, an obvious problem with this way of thinking is that not all the activities in the same field have the same idea behind them. Take easy rap. Jumping into the video right from the moment of editing it, and I realized that I said easy rap, not cloud rap. I have no idea why it came into my stupid head, but just know that I meant cloud rap, not easy rap. Easy rap is way different from the rap music of the time when it only appeared, and it has different ideas. Obviously, it continues to carry on certain elements of the past, however, it is full of new elements, new ideas, new concepts. That's why it is pointless to define some activity or some field through a single idea only. It is never a single idea. It's some combination and a mixture of different ideas and concepts. And I'd like to highlight that everybody understands these ideas differently and uniquely, because this understanding is filtered through minds of each person, one way or another related to the field. Although in most cases we are able to define some emotional similarities, and actually the lack of thereof is the cause of many conflicts about it and our discussions about it. On top of that, ideas change with the time, as well as people and the world around them. Some ideas are not as relevant as they used to be, so they naturally transform in something new, losing some of their elements and gaining something new. However, these are not the old elements that define these ideas. This is always a combination, a mixture of all these elements applied to the contextuality of the world the idea lives in. It becomes even more complicated when money comes into play. Since we're speaking about art here, does the idea of making money through art defines if the activity is true or not true? Or is there some specific sum of money that separates the moment when the activity was true or not true? And as you can probably guess from my speech, the idea of defining something as being true and not true in art doesn't really resonate with me, because this is such a vague and broad definition that everybody understands in a different way. Yeah, I also consider the Marvel movies a very soulless cinematography experience. However, this is important particularly to me, because for me, the presence of some idea behind the content is very important. However, this is a personal thing, and I understand that this is not the case for everyone. And I don't have any delusions that this speech is going to prevent people from speaking about art in the way of true and not true. Again, as I said, even I, as with the example with Marvel movies, speak about things this way. It's a very natural thing for us. And I mean, it's obvious why fans of certain art do it. However, it is more interesting to look at what actually creators say about it and why they do it. Because, their context is a bit different, as they are directly involved in the field and they experience it a bit differently than the consumers of the field do. And the most common reason why people start thinking about other creators as being true and not true is actually the love to the field. Yes, this is the love and dedication that they have put into their activity that makes them to treat things this way. In most cases, these people have spent a lot of time and put a lot of effort into developing their skill and bringing something new to the field, or at least thinking this way. Usually something that they are doing is the most important thing in their life. And it is that important that it has become a very integral part of their personality, essentially a part of them. So they would like to see this part being developed and actually moving forward. The good musician wants to listen to good music and actually wants to see the musical field developing. Actually, if I may say so, they are the true fans of the field, not of some genre, not of some type of music. They are fans of the entire field, of the music. That's why, obviously, seeing somebody just coming to the field to earn money and easy fame, it just feels like a pain to them, because, again, of the huge effort they have put into this, seeing somebody with lame experience and lame attitude to the field, it doesn't feel right for them. And in most cases, I also share this understanding of being true or not true, because I also would like to think that people do something because they love doing something instead of only seeing it through a lens of the earning money. However, I understand that the world is not that ideal, and it's okay to earn money through art, if put it simply. It's especially visible in rather young fields and genres like rap. The people who were at the moment when rap music appeared, they are still alive and they still remember all the poverty, all the rejection of the society, all the hard things that they had to walk through. Their life wasn't a sweet walk in the park with a lot of money instantly dropping on their heads. No, this was a very thorny path for them. And they perfectly remember the integral ideas they began this music with. So it's obviously a pain for them to see the fact that a lot of people are coming into the genre and subsequently lowering the average quality of it, because they are the true fans of rap music. They want to see it developing on a high level. A lot of people are coming to the rap right now, and they obviously have different ideas behind them. And it may only seem that this is just a conflict of old school and new school. However, it lies deeper than just a form. It is a conflict of different ideas, or rather a different understanding of field and the way people define the field for themselves. Besides, it needs to be clear that the more some field grows, the more it attracts people who only see this activity as a method of making money. And they don't really set themselves a target to bring some creativity or something new to the field. And actually, this is a very natural thing of something becoming a big thing. And I don't think this is really a big problem, because those who complain about this obviously at some point of their career thought of their activity as the way of earning money. And again, that doesn't make them not true. And I said that this is not really a big problem because, I think customers of the field in most cases are able to recognize the situation when there is just a pure method of earning money, or there is an attempt to actually do something creative. And for the most part, these projects do not live long, and they do not usually leave a huge trace in the industry. And it would be very natural here to transition to the second most common thing why people look down on others, is just the conservative attitude. I guess this would not be a secret that the older some people grow, the more conservative attitude they develop. And this also happens with the established people in the industry. The thing is, uh, when they started doing something, they had a specific context around them, so and specific ideas that were in their heads. And this is, as I said in previous parts, something integral, something that defined their activity, their genre through. Metal bands of 80s define rock music in this form and having these ideas in mind. So seeing something new is not maybe a rejection for them, but at least this is not a very natural for them. If this is something completely different, they would probably see as a negative thing and consider it as not true. And you know, as with the situation with money, I don't really think this is a big problem. There is just needs to be an understanding that these people are usually older than the representatives of the modern school. So they obviously will look at the modern context, at the modern world through the lens of the past events and past ideas. I would only pay respect to those established authors of some genres that, even though being established people in their industry, they still try to keep up with the modern context and look at new ideas as inspiration and as something, well, they try to be open-minded in these terms, not to look only at their ideas as something that is the most important and the only way to do certain things. And for the already established people in some field or some genre, keep in mind that at some point of your career, you were the young generation that was looked down on and considered to be weird and not true because of the ideas you had. Yes, the cycle has closed, and now you look down on some people and saying that they are not true, they are doing things the wrong way. But wasn't it your actually outstanding ideas that were able to change the industry and the genre and bring something new to this? Think about it. Think that this is just a very natural thing to happen. Ой, блядь, записали. Наконец-то, блядь. Ой, как всегда, блядь, какой-то pain in the ass жесткий, но надеюсь норм. Надеюсь норм.